Hi everyone, this is Lisa at LMD Stampin'. I'm so glad you joined me today. Today's project is going to be similar to this one that you see before you. I created this card because of a challenge that I gave myself. I have quite a few Cricut cartridges, not as many as some, but quite a few, and I noticed that I was only using about a handful of them. So the challenge that I've given myself is to go through and use every last single cartridge. I will use one cartridge a week, doing 1 to 2 cuts from that cartridge. So the first one on my shelf, and they're all in alphabetical order, is Accent Essentials. And here's the book. And the cut that I chose is here on page 58, and I only made 2 cuts. That is this one here and this one here, and they look like this. This is what you'll get from this cut, and you just pop that out of there, and then this is just a simple rounded square. The other part of my challenge was that I have to use papers from my scrap pile. So everything that you see on this card and on the card that we're going to make today are out of my scrap container. Let's get started. So in the interest of time, I pre-did a lot of the steps for this card. My first video tutorial, if you watched it, you realize it's in 2 parts because it was way too long. So we're going to try to keep this one not quite as long. So what I did was take a 8.5 by 5.5 piece of white cardstock and folded that in half to make your regular A2 card. Creasing my sides with my bone folder, very important tool if you want a nice crisp crease in your cards. I've said that before. And then the decorative paper is a 4 by 5.25 piece of paper that I chalked the edges of that, and I also chalked my card itself using my Stampin' Pastels. And this is the what is it? I think it's Regal Rose. I'll have to check that. Excuse me. And then the next piece that I cut out was this green piece that you see here. This is Swiss dots on the bottom, and I used a Swiss dot folder to run through my Big Shot. That piece is 2 inches by 4 inches, and then this solid purple piece is 1 3/4 by 4 inches, and I adhered those 2 pieces together. When you look at these colors, I just thought it kind of looked like a baby shower card, so I ended up turning it into a baby shower card. And this simply says, "Babies are such sweet beginnings," and ran a piece of yellow grosgrain ribbon around that. The accent essential pieces were cut in 2 inches, and I cut those in various colors, as you can see here. Can you see them all? And mixed and matched other colors in the way that I thought best. So I used the solid green for the backdrop of the purple, the pink, and the yellow. And I'm going to stack those together. But before I do that, I want to show you what I did with the heat and stick. One of my new favorite things to get glitter on. I've tried to do glitter on cards before, and the glitter is constantly coming off. But with your heat and stick, it's there. It's just like if I had bought this piece in the store. It's great stuff. And you can order that at my website. It's lmdstampin.stampinup.net. So what I'm going to do is add these Stampin' Dimensionals to my sentiment piece and add that to the bottom of the card. Try to make sure I stay within camera range. I noticed that I kept going off of camera range a lot in my last video. But as I've already stated many times, I am learning. So I will make many more mistakes, I'm sure. And there were quite a few on that video, but it was fun making it. So we're just gonna, I'm gonna leave a little bit of the decorative paper showing on the bottom. Very little, just like that. And put that on there. And then I want to stack these, but I want to stack them kind of like that, forming a flower. So that it's, I don't know, can you see that? So it ends up looking like that. So I'm going to glue all that together. Since these pieces are glittered, I'm going to use my Tombow adhesive to put them together. Don't need too much of this. Oops. Tombow holds things very nicely, but the nice thing about it is that you have time to move things around as you need to before it completely dries. But once it dries, it adheres things very nicely. Gotta be careful with getting too much on them. So you just want to hold that a few seconds. There you go. Just like that. And then I'm going to get a Stampin' Dimensional that to our little square piece. So before I add that to my card, I want to add one of these rhinestone brads, just a clear brad, to the center of that. Open it up. And then add a dimensional to the back of that. And make sure we can't see our brad behind there. I've also added Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of our background piece. And we're going to add that about in the center of this card. Just like that, and then add our focal point, just like, oops, I think I forgot to take the backing off. That would help. Make sure it's the way I want before I press it down. Never press anything down before you're absolutely sure that's where you want it. I think that'll work. Okay, and now press, and there you are. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this card and that you will come back often and see what fun projects we have in store for you.